This information is for educational purposes only, does not constitute legal advice, and does not create an attorney-client relationship. If you need legal assistance about a legal problem, contact an attorney.
I would say my first 5 years in practice was perfect. I mean, absolutely phenomenal. My wife and I had 2 young kids that we were raising. Again, I lived in a suburb south of Houston. Um, life was grand. We were involved in our church community. We were involved in all kind of kids sports, and it was just everything was going well. Let me put it that way. And so you asked when I first noticed something. It was probably around 2014, maybe 2015, when I started to feel bored.
Mm-hmm.
And I have since kind of realized that really what I was experiencing was a lack of fulfillment. But at the time, it felt like boredom.
Yeah.
Because I had been climbing this mountain my whole life. I finally get there. And instead of being able to relax and live in the present moment and enjoy life, the only thing I could think of was, looking around for the next challenge. What's my next challenge? What's the next thing I can do to accomplish or whatnot? Because I was so used to that. And without that, again, I just felt like I was bored. I needed something extra. And so that feeling kind of grew into a low level anxiety. But that was how things started to go askew, so to speak.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, it sounds like you've got the picture perfect life that you've been working towards. And then it's kind of, I can see how you might have that, unfulfilled feeling going forward. You kind of get there and it's like, okay, what's next? What do I do next? And keep going and building upon that. Now that you've kind of come out on the other side, are there any warning signs, in hindsight that you may have noticed, or any like stressors, any triggers that you can think of that maybe you didn't notice then, but you would see now?
Yeah, I mean, again, the boredom thing is a pretty early sign.
Yeah.
Not I don't know anyone who would tie that feeling of boredom to burnout or an impending substance abuse issue, but it certainly was for me. And in terms of some psychological issues, there are definitely some warning signs. One is that I'll call it a character defect of mine, but I'm going to mention it because many physicians have this issue, which is I seem to kind of garnish all of my self-worth through my job, through accomplishments. And so I needed some sort of external validation in order to feel worthy, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so when I stopped achieving goals and stopped being rewarded and stopped having these accomplishments and plaques and awards and whatnot, when those stopped, my self-worth kind of dropped a little bit. And again, I don't want to get too far into the weeds with the psychology of it, but,
Right, but
depending on
sense.
external validation is a set up for substance abuse or burnout.
Know Your Regulator, the podcast that inspires you to engage.